Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, I am titling this piece Ganduje tells the Emir of Kano, go and hug transformer, because that is the interpretation that this piece has for me, no matter what elegant language the writer has used to write this piece. So no matter what language is being used to write this piece, my interpretation, my understanding of it is Ganduje is effectively telling the Emir of Kano to go and hug transformer. So guys, I bring you this. No going back on new Kano Emirates. So that's what Ganduje has to say. So now let's get into the body of the piece. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has insisted that the law creating 4 newly created Emirate councils out of the present Kano Emirate Council had already been gazetted, and no amount of pressure or threats of violence would make his government reverse it. Ganduje made this comment yesterday while presenting appointment letters to the 4 newly appointed emirs at the Sani Abacha Indoor Sports Complex, Kafur Mata, Kano. He said, "We have realized that there are serious moves to disrupt peace and tranquility in the state through violent protest in and around Kano, but that would not deter my stance over the creation of the new Emirate councils. The new Emirates have come to stay. No amount of threat would make us revert on the creation of the new Emirate councils, and anybody found wanting by fomenting violence or stirring up trouble will be decisively dealt with." According to him, the emirs are expected to play a huge role in the community to ensure that the maintenance of law and order at all levels is given top priority. Governor Ganduje further stated that traditionally the Emirate Council are responsible for the sustenance of key sectors such as the agricultural economy and health development of their respective domains. These roles you played before should be revitalized to ensure the quick growth of their domains, and also do more in ensuring that all grown-ups go to school, and to advise farmers to work tirelessly in boosting the agricultural potentialities of their respective communities and the state in general, he said. Ganduje also called on ulamas and district heads to embark on serious prayers to ensure peace and development, and also to enlighten the people on the actual mission of the government in the creation of the new Emirate councils, and not to see it as politically motivated, which of course it is. What we are doing is simply revisiting the historical background of the new Emirate councils, which had enjoyed similar status in the past, if not for the fact that the colonialists tampered with their historical status, he said. So he's now going back to Uthman Danfodio, effectively, or whatever, Lord Lugard, not to Uthman Danfodio, Lord Lugard. So he's now going back to Lord Lugard to fight Emir Sanusi, is effectively what he's saying. He carries on. Ganduje said Kano's existence for over 800 years was an act of God, and that he is the one who has protected the traditional entity all the while, adding that it is the same God that allowed the creation of these 4 new Emirate councils. It should be recalled that Governor Ganduje had on Wednesday signed into law a bill for the creation of 4 new Emirates for Gaya, Rano, Karuye and Bichi, all of which used to be districts under the Kano Emirate Council. Ganduje, who signed the bill on the same day that it was passed and transmitted to him by the Kano State House of Assembly, said emirs would be appointed for the new emirates immediately. The amendment of the existing chieftaincy law was at the insistence of a petition filed by one Ibrahim Chambers, who argued that some traditional rulers in Kano State ought to be elevated to the status of emir. Many believed that the move to create more emirate councils in Kano State is a ploy by Umar Ganduje-led government to reduce the influence of the Kano Emirate, currently headed by HRH Mohammed Sanusi II, former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Ganduje and Sanusi are reported to have fallen out over yet to be disclosed issues. A probe is currently underway by the Kano State Anti-Corruption Agency into the finances of the Emirate, a move many believe is targeted at removing Sanusi from the throne. Reports say Sanusi did not support Ganduje's bid to be re-elected for a second term in office. In the February governorship election in the state, Ganduje lost significantly in Kano metropolis, an area largely controlled by the Emir of Kano State. It carries on. Why we deployed more men to Emir's palace? Security was beefed up around the palace of the Emir of Kano yesterday after placard-carrying protesters tried to protest the splintering of the Kano Emirate into 5. The Kano State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Haruna Abdullahi said that the deployment of armed policemen to man strategic locations in the state capital was aimed at averting the impending protest allegedly planned by some hoodlums in the state. Findings revealed that as a result of rumors of planned violent protests by some people believed to be loyalists of the Emir of Kano, security was beefed up in some areas around the state capital to avert the breakdown of law and order. Security operatives, especially policemen, were deployed to keep vigil at the Emir's palace and the main entrance of the government house in order to block protesters from causing mayhem in the state. According to eyewitness, about 10 police Hilux vans, which conveyed security personnel to the palace, were stationed at the Kafur Kadu Emir's palace. Another group was directed to take position at the residence of the Chief of Staff to the Emir of Kano, Malam Muhammadu Sanusi, along Iyaka Road. Another 10 police patrol vehicles were stationed at the main entrance of Kano State Government House, while one police van was kept at the personal residence of the incumbent Galadin Kano Alhaji Abbas Sanusi. More security personnel were stationed at the main entrance of Audu Bako State Secretariat. One of the policemen at the secretariat told journalists that they were stationed at the secretariat as early as 6 a.m. This security beef-up may not be unconnected to the planned presentation of letters of appointment to the 4 new emirs by the state governor yesterday. Reports are emerging that after handing out appointment letters to the beneficiaries, the governor told them to do everything possible to live peacefully with their subjects and to bring development to the grassroots. So now on to the next cameo. Mixed reaction trails Kano Emirate split. Expectedly, there has been divergent opinions following the governor's move to break up Kano Emirate, with many people supporting and opposing the move. One-time Commissioner of Finance and Chairman Kano State Land Use Act Committee, Dr. Ibrahim Dan Azumi Kwazo, described the Kano State House of Assembly move to create additional emirates in the state as a step in the right direction. Gwazo told correspondents that the State Assembly had all the constitutional powers to take such a decision for the collective good of the people yearning for such emirates. He said, Contrary to the views of the opposition, I personally see this as a positive development, not as a ploy to frustrate or intimidate the Emir Sanusi, because this issue has been lingering for years and everyone is quite aware that one day people's interests mostly naturally rank supreme, even as other regimes failed to make it see the light of the day. Gwazo, who was chairman, board of directors, Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, Lagos, observed that when places like Karurie and Hajia and Gumel and Rigim Emirates are carved out of Old Kano as a result of creation of Jigawa State in 1991, it turned out to be a good omen to the people of those emirates, considering the level of development in those areas today. He stated that given the position of Kano and how its population is daily increasing, one would feel that there is nothing more worthwhile than to have additional emirates, because that would even lessen the pressure and tension faced by the Emir of Kano on a daily basis due to the number of people trooping in and out of his palace seeking one form of intervention or the other. He noted that there are divergent views with regards to the emirate creation. However, members of the State Assembly should be allowed to discharge their statutory function without any hindrance. Also, a special advisor to Governor Ganduje on religious matters, Alhaji Ali Baba Agama Lafiya, said the creation of the new emirate was not new, as it happened when the late Abubakar Rimi was the governor of the state after similar agitations for the creation of additional emirate councils were made. According to him, many subsequent state administrations that came after Rimi also tried to split the emirate but failed to actualize the dream. The governor's aide said when the present administration came into being, the agitation heightened and people from Bichi, Gaya, Rano and Karaye came out openly to remonstrate with Governor Ganduje to pave the way for the creation of more emirate councils with the same power of control and influence like that of Emir of Kano. I think, contrary to the erroneous view of people, that the said agitation, which had been lingering for years, is the product of this government, is not true. Even with the recent moves, one can conveniently judge from the body language of most people that they are fully in support of the Emirates creation, he said. Alhaji Baba Lafiya dispelled the insinuation that the development is politically motivated. What the opposition are saying is not the reflection of what is going on. In fact, even before the legislative arm finished its work, people had already started trooping to the State Assembly complex to express their support 100% to the members for the laudable initiative, he said. The Special Assistant on Religious Matters to Governor Ganduje added that the government will not revert its decision on the issue. We are going ahead with the plan since it is based on the yearnings and aspirations of the people of the affected areas, and because of the interest of one single person, the interest of many people won't be jeopardized, he said. When contacted, Walim Kano, Alhaji Mahi Bashir Wali, over the development, he said the Emirate Council would not rush to make a statement, and that when the tone is ripe, or when the time that should be, although they wrote tome here, but when the time is ripe, the council would respond appropriately. He said what the palace desires is for the people to live peacefully for its through peaceful coexistence that everything will work according to plan. Earlier, a Kano lawmaker, Honorable Sule Gwazo, had instituted an action seeking the court to restrain the Kano state government or its allies from taking any further action towards creating 4 more emirates. Consequently, an order of interim injunction was granted by the court presided over by Justice Nasiru Saminu, directing all parties in the suit to maintain status quo pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The order directed the defendant and respondents to halt the publication and release of the law assent on May 8, 2019, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. It also restrained the 4th defendant/respondent from appointing or recognizing any purported emirs in Kano State pending hearing and determination of the motion on notice. Another Kano resident, Malam Hamza Ado Daniji, in an interview, condemned the action of the state government in creating new emirate councils because, according to him, it will bring disunity amongst the people living in the emirate. He said the action had political undertones as it was aimed at wrecking the powers and influence of Emir Sanusi II. Everyone knew quite well that the state government had no such plan on the ground, if not for the fact that it is accusing the emir of being partisan during the governorship elections, he said. He said that most of the people, especially those living in the urban centers, were totally against establishing new emirates, adding that people like him would continue to condemn the act until it is reversed by the government or through the instrumentality of the courts. So that is the goings on in Kano State, with Dola Ganduje doubling down on his position, determined to break the hold of Sanusi on Kano State, splitting Kano State now into 5 emirates and then breaking the influence of Sanusi from 44 local governments to now 10 local governments of influence, and then giving 4 other emirs equal status as Sanusi, so effectively destroying what Sanusi has aspired for all of his life. So this is now the gameplay now. Is he able to push this through? You can already be certain that Sanusi is already running to Tinubu, Buhari, and everybody else to say, come and save me from this dollar-loving governor. He's after me. He's after destroying everything that I worked for. But then is Ganduje brave enough to hold firm? He has already given these people letter of appointment, this new emirates that he has created. He has given the emirs of the emirates that he has created letters of appointment, and one of the emirs of the emirates that he has created is an Adobayero. An Adobayero in Nigeria, especially in the northern parts, is a name to conjure with. It's a prominent name, is the name of the person that used to be the emir of Kano before, who died to be replaced by Sanusi. So he's the son of the previous emir. So it's not some low-rent people that is putting in place. He's putting the princes and the principalities of Kano State in place to say, okay, you have equal status to this guy. I'm fighting him. Now you use your kudos and your status to go and destroy him. So it's a real game of brinksmanship that this guy is now playing. Dola Ganduje, I have always called him a dunce, but maybe I need to revise that view now, because even though he's a corrupt man who loves the dollar, he's certainly no idiot from this move that he's playing. So how this plays out, we will continue to monitor on this channel, and I've got further videos to come, because all their daughters are also fighting. The daughters of Sanusi are fighting the daughters of Dola Ganduje, and the daughters of Dola Ganduje are fighting the daughters of Sanusi. So that's to come in subsequent videos, so stay tuned. So click on that red subscribe button so you continue to stay informed. Click on the bell button, that way you are notified every time I drop a new video. Then come join me in the comment section. We're talking the Kano Emirate, we're talking the former governor of the central bank, Emir Sanusi rather, now the Emir of Kano. We're talking about the dollar-loving governor of Kano State, Dollar Ganduje. We're talking about Adobayero, and we're talking about brinksmanship in Kano State. So the plot thickens, and what do you think? Conversations in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Come join you in the comment section. But here I say peace.